So now I'm kind of like, where do I go from here with a project I'm working on that can't handle all of the different mixed media that I usually do? Working on my underpainting, I've come across a dilemma. I work in mixed media, so I'm often bouncing around between mostly watercolor, colored pencil, mm, some pastel, and marker and pen and ink. Well, that also means that I bounce between different art pads, and sometimes it's watercolor paper, many times it's mixed media paper, and sometimes it's just like sketchbook paper that doesn't say it's for mixed media, but I've tested it enough to know that it can handle it. And so now I'm kind of like, where do I go from here with a project I'm working on that can't handle all of the different mixed media that I usually do? This is probably a sketch pad that I haven't touched much. And even though it's a brand that I'm familiar with and use often, it's just this particular paper. It has like a almost like a wax coating on it so that it will not allow for the watercolor to absorb. And that's a huge problem with what I'm doing. So here's that mixed media paper, and I'm sure you've seen this is what I'm working on. Like quite extensive line work, as you can see. So as I was saying, this paper seems to have like a wax coating that is not allowing for the watercolor to absorb. So it's just kind of laying on the surface of the pieces. And laying on the surface of the paper wouldn't exactly be a huge problem if this was the final layer. But the next layer I was planning on doing was to go in with more watercolor. It's going to be a limited palette, and I created some custom colors up along the top here. And then here's the underpainting color. The issue is, as soon as I go in again to paint, it's just going to move those colors around. They did not set. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I could explore perhaps putting some type of application on the paper to like set the paper. I'm not sure what that would do as far as being able to apply another watercolor layer over it. It's it may not work at all. It might be something where I would have to go over with like an acrylic. And I typically do not work in acrylic because acrylic is not opaque. Um, Therefore, you cannot see the lines of the artwork that I did if I paint over it with acrylic, which would totally destroy many, many hours of work that I've already done. So that's not a desirable direction at all. I think I think I might explore just a little bit, maybe doing some type of setting over it, some type of maybe sealant, perhaps. Otherwise, I will just complete the underpainting and then go directly into colored pencil to do the colors. That's definitely not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was to do the colors over top of the underpainting and then use the colored pencil to go in and add the really deep contrast that I need that I maybe can't achieve with watercolor because the paper can only take so much application of liquids to it before it starts to like get really crumbly. That was my intent for the colored pencil. But now it may carry a heavier load, and I have to keep in mind that with colored pencil also, if you go over the lines of the marker that's on there, the fine ink that's on there, it will also cover those lines and can effectively destroy the work that I've done. So I have I have some things to consider on my plan of attack to how to resolve this issue, but no doubt I will film and I will update you with whatever I decide. It's just an interesting dilemma in that this paper does not allow for the watercolor to absorb, and I will certainly be writing notes on the front of that art pad so that I have it for the future to not do at least a project like this again, where I'm hoping to go in with watercolor for multiple layers because it is definitely not suited for that. So a little bit of a head scratcher, but I'm certainly not somebody to just throw in the towel and be like, "Oh, that's it. My idea's ruined." That is never me. I will make it happen. Um, Probably the very, very least desirable thing that I could do uh, is I did scan all of this artwork in before I started coloring. So if I really had to, I could color it in Photoshop, and that just is so gross to me. No offense to anybody that colors in Photoshop. I've colored in Photoshop. I know that it's a fabulous tool. It's just I prefer to do it by hand because it's more Dawn, it's more me whenever it's done by hand, and that's the whole point of creating, to put my mark on things. So I will update you with whatever I decide to do.